So this is the 2 Notes Audio Engineering Torpedo Live, which is a digital low box, but to put it really simply, it's just a speaker and microphone emulator. So in this case I'm using real amps, plug it straight into this, and you can kind of choose between a bunch of different cabs and microphones, and then all the mic placement and moving the microphone around, and you can do all of that stuff just within the unit. For this video I haven't used any of the software that you can download, which you can get way more in depth with. I just used what there is on the interface. So basically you can use real amps, get the real amp tone that you want at home, but record silently. So go out the speaker output on my head into this, then out into my interface, and I'm using Cubase to record. Obviously the benefit of using it in the studio is you have a bunch of different cabs and microphones kind of to choose from, and it saves you a lot of time setting up, moving the microphone millimeters at a time and going back and forth from the control room to the live room to set up your tone. The benefit of using it live is, over the years doing a lot of production and mixing work and mixing some live stuff, I was surprised at how much spill you get in the guitar mics. No matter how loud you think the guitar amp's cranked up or how far away it is from the drums, you inevitably get a lot of hi-hats and cymbals ringing in the guitar mic. So this is just a really clean signal to send to front of the house. And another thing is, if you're a front of the house guy, saves the settings on a USB stick, and you're on the tour you're doing, you're using a digital desk, you can just upload those settings every day. You get a very consistent live sound because you're not having a slightly different angle on the microphone each day or whatever it is. So it's really consistent overall for using it live. Obviously live you can still use real cabs for on-stage monitoring, but you can then just send the signal from the Torpedo to front of the house and you don't need any microphones. So for the clips at the start I used both my Marshalls, the JMP and the 800, which are both modded kind of to the specs that I asked for, or at least the tones that I was kind of aiming towards getting. They're very unique sounding, and they've got sort of certain quirks to them. So if you aren't too into the tones you hear in this, definitely check out the Torpedo Live with a head that you're familiar with or you like. But you'll obviously just be able to see what you can do with the Torpedo Live. So I'm going to run through some of the settings that I've been using and my favourite kind of cab and mic combination. So the first thing you go into to have a play around is Edit, and then you use the parameter control to go through all the different options, and then the value control to kind of change things up. So the first thing is power amp. Because I'm using my Marshall, I don't need that on. So next up, miking, I've got that on. I want to simulate miking up a cab, and cab mic option. So this is all the different kind of cabs that are in the unit, and this is my favourite one, the Brick Vintage C. That's another one of my favourite ones there, the Green Tri, but I'll go back to, whoops, wrong one. I'll go back to the original one there. Up next, you have what kind of microphone you want on the cabinet, and I've found with different cabs, different mics, different combinations kind of work better depending on what the cab you're using is or what head you're using. So you've got like a Sennheiser 41, I guess that's like a Shure 57, some other ribbon mics, condenser. So yeah, I found that this one kind of works best for the tone that I want. Up next, the distance. So this is how far away you want the microphone from the cabinet. Typically you go as close as possible. It's quite uncommon that you go much further back than an inch, inch and a half. Some people do, but I've never found it to work too well. So got the distance on 0, but I can show you how it sounds when you move that around. So up next, center. This is kind of where you want the mic in relation to the speaker. Obviously, with the previous option, that's how close the microphone is to the grill. But this is where it is in relation to the center or the edge of the speaker cone. So typically you'd go on the edge of the very inner cone of the speaker, and I'd imagine if the center being 0 would be right in the middle of the speaker, that you'd want it around somewhere like, I don't know, 20% maybe. Just a little bit too harsh at 0 there, and this is with it, you know, way off the edge. Up next position, this is whether you want the mic in front or behind the cab, and unless maybe you're miking up a cab at the same time as this and you want a mic around the back for effect, I think the only reason you'd use that would be, you know, like for a specific effect that you're going for. And then next, EQ. This is with the EQ off. I've been using a bit of EQ here to just see exactly how in depth I can go just within this unit. Obviously you can always EQ stuff when you're recording, but especially if you're playing live and you want to use this, having your EQ kind of set up just the way you want it and just running it flat on the desk out front could be really handy to do. So this is the EQ that I've got going on at the moment. You can choose whether you want guitar or bass, guitar, and so this is what frequencies you're boosting or cutting. So 120 Hz, there's quite a lot of bass on this amp, and I've just kind of left that flat. Next 360, I find around 250 is where the mud happens, well, generally speaking, but especially with these heads, and 360 is just a little bit close to that area that I don't really want to boost. So I'm just kind of leaving that flat. There's still a lot of body there, so if you cut that, you'd be losing a bit of the body in the tone. Next 800, that's where a lot of the body of most guitar tones are. Just boosting that by 2 dB. Up next, 2K. With my heads, or with any Marshalls really, there's quite a lot of 2K in there, a lot of upper mids, and I'm still boosting a little bit by 2 dB, but I wouldn't want to go any higher than that. It kind of depends on the head. And then up next, 6K, boosting that by quite a lot. I've been A/B'ing this with a recorded tone, so it does seem like quite a lot to boost, but like I said, I'm trying to get as close to a tone that I'm A/B'ing with just using this unit without using any EQ or use Cubase to record in. It was just a bit too dull when it was at 0 there, so put that at about 10. And then all that's left is the overall level, and that kind of depends on how loud your amp is, how much signal you're putting in on the input level, and yeah, that's kind of it. So I'll go back through and have a play with some different settings now. Let's get straight to the cabinet. Go for that green tri. We'll kind of mic do we want now? Gonna go for that one. So basically I haven't gone too far in depth in this video. There's tons more you can do with the actual software, but I kind of like just seeing what I can do just with the unit on its own at the moment. And yeah, definitely highly recommended.